Hi everyone, I am here with another true story. Are you guys ready for one? When God winks at you. This one is called Mystery Photo. Let's start off with a verse from Norman Vincent Peale. Deep within you, nothing is hopeless. You are a child of God, and hope has been planted in you by God. Amen. All right, mystery photo. I was searching, even though my life was in a good place, fairly happy. I was searching for direction, said Lisa Gilpin. She and her husband, Sandy, had been earnestly trying to get pregnant, but their continued disappointment raised unspoken doubts. Would they be able to have a baby? Was there something wrong with one of them? Then there was the nagging career question. What direction should she go back to school or stay the course in a workplace? Thank God for the church tour to the Holy Land. It would be a welcome distraction, organized by fellow members of New York's Marble Coalition Church, accompanied by their pastor, Dr. Arthur Colandro. Lisa and Sandy were looking forward to exploring ancient places of the Bible and walking where Jesus walked. I want to go there so bad. If I could choose any place to go in the world for a trip, that's where I would want to go. Israel. As they arrived in Israel, Lisa's personal uncertainty seemed thousands of miles away, 6,000 to be exact. Early in the trip was a journey to Jerusalem. From there, the group boarded a bus from an excursion to the ancient biblical town of Jericho. But before they could depart, the bus broke down. We have to wait. Another bus is coming to replace this one, shrugged the driver. After a frustrating and seemingly interminably delay, the second bus arrived and they got underway. As they approached the first scheduled rest stop, the driver further irritated his captives by electing to pass it by. It was too crowded, he said to his groaning passengers, whose impatience was escalating as rapidly as their need to visit the restroom. There's another stop a few miles ahead, he added. When the bus finally did roll into the rest stop, Lisa bolted down the steps, heading directly to the ladies' room as quickly as possible. Sure, most of them were. The men's and women's rooms were separated by a partition and identified in both English and Arabic. As one additional distinguishing characteristic on the door for women was a picture of a lady. Thankfully, Lisa was one of the first to rush into the restroom, but as she exited, she found that a line had formed and the women had broken into an excited titter. Lisa was the subject of all their attention. Excitedly, they pointed to the woman's picture on the ladies' room door. It was a picture of her. Her? Yes. Looking more closely than her urgings of nature had previously permitted, Lisa looked at her face in a photo taken 20 years earlier. When she was a 19-year-old college student, her memory rushed to that moment in her life, another time of searching because of an uncertain relationship with a boyfriend, and she recalled the day that she had been asked to pose for a Red Cross volunteer poster. How did your picture get there? Asked the other woman. I don't know. It must be some kind of joke, she replied, almost dazed. Her mind was racing, wondering if, as a gag, someone could have preceded them to the rest stop. Her pastor, Arthur Colandro, joined the gathering to see what all the fuss was about. Is this a joke, Arthur? Asked Lisa. He, too, was momentarily stunned, shook his head, and replied with a wide-eyed smile, No, it's no joke, Lisa. How did Lisa's picture end up at an unscheduled countryside rest stop in a land she'd never visited 6,000 miles from home. No one knows. Someone knows. In subsequent years, Arthur asked Lisa several times, "How do you interpret that experience?" "I don't know. I don't know," was always her reply. Before leaving the rest stop that day in the countryside of Israel, Lisa asked the manager if she could have the picture. He gave it to her, and every time she looked at it, she thought long and hard about the power of the God wink that she experienced. Only through the distance of time and greater insight has the event become clearer. She now realizes that at the time the God wink occurred, she was unknowingly crossing the bridge from a time of uncertainty into a pleasant place of certainty. Her searching was coming to an end. Shortly after Lisa and Sandy returned to America, she was overcome with a kind of joy that could originate only from the Almighty. With an assurance that her prayers had indeed been heard, she was able to tell her family and friends that she was pregnant. She later gave birth to a beautiful baby boy. During the same period, Lisa began to have clarity about the direction of her career. She re-enrolled in school and earned a master's degree in social work. God's wink had been a reaffirmation of his presence in her life. Dr. Caliandro agreed. Your experience describes the existence of God, a demonstration that there is something beyond us. Its mystery is awesome, and we need to pay attention to it. Nothing can be done without hope or confidence. Helen Keller. I hope you guys enjoyed that story, and I hope you guys have a great rest of your night. Bye, guys.